for quoting life insurance. So we're going to share screen here, show you exactly where to go, what to click. When you're on your home page of POL, we call that primericaonline.com. You're going to go up to the top middle. There's a blue tab here that says Turbo Apps. In the name box, you're going to add your contact. So Jack Ryan, add new contact. You may put Jill in there as well. And then you're going to put quotes. Open Quick Quote 3.0. Quote for contact. New quote. And you'll see Jack and Jill sitting right there. New quote. Date of birth. So Jack is 39 years old, male. There we go. First thing we're going to point out when it comes to quoting life insurance is what all of this means. You have the applicant location, which has all your license states, tobacco or nicotine use, yes or no. When I'm asking about tobacco or nicotine use, I do not say, do you smoke? Because now you have vape, chew, patches. If somebody stopped smoking 4 months ago, but they're on the patch or the chewing gum for nicotine, it will show up in their blood. And they need to be tobacco nicotine free for a year in order to qualify as a non-tobacco, non-nicotine user. If they are tobacco nicotine use, it does increase the rate automatically. For men, it's going to go to a class 10 or 9, right? As opposed to 6 down to 3 if they were not. The next thing you're going to look at is what's called the product type. The product type is power term and precision term. The power term, think smaller policies. Precision term, think bigger policies. Power term is not going to require a medical the majority of the time. There are exceptions to that, but the majority of the time, power term does not require a medical. Precision term, the majority of the time, will require a medical. As a result, the cost per thousand is going to be more expensive with power term. There is overlap. So if I have a $150,000 life insurance policy on a power term, it's $72 a month, 35-year term. If I go precision term, the same amount, it's $53 a month. So if I was asking the client, do you want to save $19 a month, just get a medical? Most clients are going to say, yes, I'll do the medical if it saves me the $19 a month. Okay. The overlap is, and this will change if the client is older than 45 years old, then these numbers will start to change. And there is an official, as far as the tools tab, you can look up all the product guidelines to get this specific. But generally speaking, you're looking at under 300 grand is available for power term. And then after 45 years old, it drops down to 250 grand. And then just look up the table under tools if you're looking for what the client would be eligible for. But generally speaking, under 300 grand, they can do power term. Anything over 300 grand would have to be precision term. And then at 150,000, again, this number is subject to change based on their age after age 45. But for the majority of clients, 150,000, they can get precision term. So generally speaking, okay, 150 grand to 300 grand, they can be either one, precision or power. Okay. If it's less than 150, like a $75,000 policy, 9 times out of 10, you're doing power term. Okay. If it's north of 300, got to do precision term. The next thing we're going to look at is the premium class. You'll notice for men, it goes 2, 3, 5, and 6 with a non-tobacco, non-nicotine rate. For women, it goes premium class 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 is considered standard for women. 6 is considered standard for men. We write the majority of our cases at standard rate. Okay. If the client does their medical and it comes back that they are above average health, right? Then instead of 53 bucks a month, they get a class 5 rating. It might be $48 a month. Class 3, $36 a month. Class 2, maybe they're running marathons, $29 a month. The next thing you want to look at, you go, how do you know if they're going to get that? We'll cover that in another video. The plan for term length, the longer the term length, 10 through 35 years, the longer the term length, the more expensive the premium, but the longer the rate is locked in. So there are advantages to locking in your rate for a long period of time, right? A 35-year term, 53 bucks. If I go down to a 25-year term, 38 bucks. All right. Waiver of premium. Waiver of premium is going to add a few dollars onto the premium. In this case, about $3. It's not $3 for every policy. It's percentage based. Okay. But it's going to be in that $2, $3, $4, $5 range typically that you're going to tack on this extra cost for the policy. And what waiver of premium does is if the client is disabled, right, the benefit allows clients not to pay their insurance premium after the insured has become permanently or totally disabled for a period of time of at least 6 months. After the insured has had the total disability for the continuous 6 months, we will waive the premiums, any premiums falling due thereafter, and will refund backwards any premiums during those 6 months. And as long as the client is disabled, then the waiver of premium, what will happen is they'll be able to pay those premiums until the client is 95 years old. They can continue to renew the policy. In addition to that, by clicking waiver of premium, the terminal illness rider that is normally 40% of the face amount up to $250,000 maximum. When you click waiver of premium, it goes up to 70% of the face amount with a maximum of $400,000 in terminal illness rider. Is if the doctor says you have 6 months or less to live on official doctor letterhead, then you can get access to your policy in advance. The child rider. The child rider goes 0 to 50 grand per kid. Okay. The 50 grand all the way down is paid out to the family if the child does pass away. Child lives all the way through age 25. They're able to convert at that adult age. Now they can convert the policy to 5 times the amount with a maximum of $125,000 without a medical. All right. With the child riders, you could have 1 kid or 10 kids. The cost does not change. So every child would be covered, but it would be a flat rate to the family. In this case, the most common we use is $15,000. It would be $8.51 for the family. And if they had 3 kids, all 3 kids get the $15,000 of coverage. The family pays $8.51 a month, not $8.51 a month per child. Okay, it's per family. Advanced features, backdate to save age. If you're coming up on a birthday for a client, you may want to do that. Like if their birthday is in a month, you may want to click that to make sure you're locking in their younger age. And then not rated. If the client is a substandard rating due to health, then above and beyond the standard rate, table 6 or class 6, for example, it could be a class 6 standard rate for the client with a tacked on table 2. That's substandard rate. It's a 50% increase in the premium. And so instead of the $53 monthly premium, it was $77 for that client plus the $8 child rider. Let me get rid of that here so we can be clear. So we went from $53 to $77 for the table 2 rating. We do not write the cases at those table ratings. We write them at standard, and the company assigns the table rating if that's the decision after underwriting. But if you ask questions like the client says, well, I take a medication for high blood pressure and I'm type 2 diabetic and I take metformin, you could, with that information, you might say, look, there's a chance that this policy comes back as substandard rating. And you could show them what that would be. Like a table 4 would be $101 a month for the same coverage. All right. You can prep the client in advance. After you've run through the quotes, then you can hit apply now and go to an application and start that process.